Hello again, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is John. I'm a full-time eBay reseller based in Melbourne, Australia. Today I'm going to talk about consistency. And it's a boring topic, but it's worth noting how relevant it is to us inherently. Whenever we think about doing something different and we think about, I need consistent listing, I need consistent sales, I need consistent sourcing, it sometimes feels like, at least this is how I hear it, that consistency is something that we don't know how to do and we just need to learn how to do it. Can I remind you that your heart beats consistently, that your lungs pump air consistently? In fact, consistency is the thing that keeps you alive. You function based on consistency. You already know consistency. Consistency is something that you do without thinking. And that's kind of what the point of those comments is. It's like, how do I do listing without thinking? How do I do sourcing without thinking? How do I do selling without thinking? How do I make money in my sleep? That's kind of the journey to end at that statement. When you hear those ads that say, would you like to make money in your sleep? Well, yeah, that's the process. It's the whole doing all these things that you don't think about anymore so that you can get the outcome without thinking about it anymore. And when trying to figure out how to list consistently, how to source consistently, I feel like because reselling is so wide reaching, from selling curtains to selling cars to selling shoes, toys, used nappies, like you can sell anything, right? eBay has made that so possible. Judging consistency can be very difficult because most people gravitate towards outcome-based assessments, which is, I am listing 10 items, but I'm only selling 1 item this week. I'm listing 10 items, but next week I'm only selling 2 items. Is the consistency helping? Is it not? And it becomes like, because the outcomes are so varied, because most resellers also start with selling everything, it's very hard to judge the consistency. So here's what I would suggest you do instead. Consistently make time. That is something within your control, something that you can assess. Consistently source for 1 hour a week, no more. Because that's like an endless thing, right? You can source for 10 hours if you wanted to and spend yourself into bankruptcy. Consistently list for an hour a week. Consistently fulfill for an hour a week. And then when you are used to giving that time, the next time you reassess, it could be in 2 weeks, you go, can I consistently source for 1 hour, list for 2 hours, fulfill for 2 hours? Can I, in 1 hour of sourcing, with improved ability at sourcing, keep the time the same, consistently the same, but increase the listing, increase the fulfilling? Then the next fortnight, reassess again. Do it on a time-based thing because it helps you to carve out that consistency. Then when you're in that rhythm, you can assess what outcomes this machine that is you working 5 hours a week, 6 hours a week can achieve. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to be consistently selling product in the first few months of reselling anyways. For some people, not even in the first few years. Like when I started reselling, I bought the same franchise of toy, 30 grand worth of it in 6 months, and I sold 30 grand in 6 months and had a double garage full of stock left over. But not everybody does that. Not everybody kind of bulldozers their wife and just goes, I'm taking over the garage. Most people have to do it slowly, gradually, with very little space. And so the product is oftentimes not consistent. The time needs to be consistent because consistency in time shows a commitment. And when you build up a body of commitment, what you'll find is that you feel like you can do it. You will feel motivated to keep going and keep building. So set the foundation with a consistency of time. Don't aim for a consistency of outcome just yet. You don't have enough data to do it, and you definitely don't have enough experience to do it. And that way you can prove to yourself that when you want to be consistent at something, you can be. Because if you try and be consistent at listing, sourcing, with all those other things, you will feel like the results are mixed and you'll get quite demotivated. So yeah, be consistent with the time you set aside, be disciplined in that, and also be disciplined in doing the task you're supposed to do at the time which you allocate. So if you've set aside an hour for sourcing and then you're going to do the hour of listing, do not source. Give yourself that what's the word? Like that accountability almost. Show yourself that you can do the thing that you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. And you will see progress and you will actually find yourself feeling quite encouraged. So yeah, consistency of time. Until next one, see ya.